So freaking hyped. Two brand new parts for the hardtail. First one is a ST1 Tidal stem. I love Tidal's packaging. I feel like it's so crisp, so clean. It reminds me a lot of iPhone, you know, that style of packaging. Intended use, all mountain, dirt jump, slopestyle, XC, downhill. Recommendations: be sure to have this stem installed at your local bike shop or by a trained professional. Follow torque specifications, 8 Newton meters. You hear that? 8 Newton meters. Just kidding, we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna get it snug and see how that works. So it's got 2 pieces for the front, one on the left, one on the right. They got a cutout of their logo on the inside of the stem. That's sick. Not too heavy of a stem. They save a lot of weight by making these cutouts. It's a pretty stubby stem. I got it in 31 and it's a 31.8 in regards to the diameter of bars that I can run. What's a stem without some handlebars? This is insanely nice. Such good quality. Tidal MTB, aluminum, 31.8 for clamp size, 38 millimeters of rise, 8 degrees of back sweep, 5 degrees of up sweep, I believe. I got the same exact bars on my Commencal Clash. Different stem though. I believe this is a race face turbine R stem. Pretty similar stems, just different brands. That's why I got this stem, because I wanted it to match the one I have on my full suspension. Now that I showed you guys what's in the box, let me give you a little breakdown of this purchase. It is a purchase. I spent my own money on these parts. I think it was close to like $190. I didn't get a discount. I didn't ask for a discount. I genuinely love this company and the brand and the riders, and I just love the products they offer. So I want to support them. You know, I want to spend my money on their stuff so that they can continue being in business and continue making dope products like these, you know? And the way I was able to justify this purchase, hear me out. If I have this hardtail set up very similar to how I have my full suspension set up, then it'll be easier for me to get on each bike. Like when I transition from this bike to that bike, or the full suspension to this bike, it won't feel as awkward to me because I'm running the same exact parts on both bikes. That's probably not a fact. That's just what I told myself so that way I can justify this purchase. In my head, it kind of makes sense. If you have similar parts or the same setup, then it'll probably feel less awkward. That's my guess. We're gonna test it out. I definitely care about how my bike looks. I am very picky about the way it's set up, you know, everything, how it's positioned, and overall just the way it looks. If my bike looks good to me, then it feels good to ride for me. I'm not saying everybody should do that. That's just how my brain works. And in order for me to enjoy what I'm riding, I have to like how it looks. And not only does it have to look good to me, it has to function well, because I've ridden things that look good that don't function well. And so there's all these criteria that my bikes have to meet, and this is part of that criteria of it has to look good. This looks good, don't get me wrong, but this looks better. It's interesting because when I used to play golf, well, I still play, but I don't play as often, my favorite company was Titleist. And in mountain biking, my favorite brand is Tidal. I think we have a pattern going on. It's something with TI. Let some light and some fresh air in. Oops. Oh, man, who tightened that? But in all seriousness, if you have a torque wrench or something to get the torque just right, I would recommend using it, because I've actually snapped a stem on my BMX bike from screwing in these side bolts too hard. It sucked because it was a brand new stem. Wow, these are light too. Oh, that's money. The only downside is that I put it on backwards. me add some grease to these bolts. It looks like it comes with some, but I'm gonna throw in a little bit more. One for you. This is the grease I'm using, by the way. Got a lot of it. Bolts are greased. Just outside 770. So I think they're cut to 780. All right, cutting it to 780. I'm gonna mark it so I remember. Not that I don't think I'll forget, but just in case. I have to go run some errands with my wife. Hopefully I get back in time to make these cuts. So I'll leave it at that. We'll come back in an hour or so, get this thing finished up. Those errands took a lot longer than expected. It's 10:32 at night, but I'm determined to get this done. We're gonna cut the bars, but I gotta make it quick because it's really late. I don't want my neighbors to get mad. Safety first. The hard part is done. 780. That feels good. My goodness, dude. I wish I would have done this sooner. These bar ends, they don't even fit. Bingo. I think I'll try to make these work. So we are gonna use the old ones and just make them a little thicker. Make them a little thicker by adding some electrical tape. There we go. It'll get me going until I buy new bar ends because I don't want dirt or sand getting in there on my rides. Love it. I'm pretty freaking exhausted, but I really want to get this done. And we're almost there. There it is. It's crazy how much shorter it feels because by the looks of it, it doesn't look like it went back too far. But when I sit on top of the bike, I do feel a big difference in regards to how close the bars are now. There you have it. New bars, new stem. I really want to test this setup out this weekend. I can already tell I'm gonna like this setup though because one, I love the way it looks, and two, just sitting on top of the bike, even though it feels different, you know, because it's a shorter stem, I could see myself really liking this setup because it's so much similar to the full suspension setup. But I'm loving how this hardtail is coming out. I feel like it's getting a makeover little by little. We swapped out the fork, seat, and then bars and stem. I think as of right now, that's it. Like, I'm not gonna swap out anything else. I mean, there's not much to swap out other than the wheel set and the cranks, but I honestly like the wheels and crank setup. So I'm just gonna leave it as is. But my friends, it's pretty late. It's 11 o'clock at night. I gotta be up early tomorrow, but I'm happy I was able to tackle this and get it out of the way. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you on the next video.